Oh, sweet Lord. I am so sorry, guys, to the delay. I wanted to stream a half an hour ago, but what happened is, OBS crashed and it had to send a 224 megabyte. I don't know, like some sort of like message towards like probably stream that OBS team or something, like to be like, oh, let's decode what the problem was. And you know, instead of just taking, I don't know, like 1 or 2 minutes, it took 25 minutes to send that. I have no idea why. It was 224 megabytes. It was not meant to be that long. So here I am. Let's get the right window. Well, oh yeah. Oops. Gotta close that. That was a bit confusing. And there we go. Got it. Got it. We're a bit delayed, but we're in. It's half an hour. It's nothing too bad. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, been on for like 3 minutes. I'll wait like another minute real quick and then we get started. Just seeing if anybody's even going to join. Aha, I see something. That we should probably get fixed. Which is... Here it is. Why is that happening again? It always happens. For some weird reason, it resets the text. Let me see here. Oh god, well, I have it on my other, I think it was show card. Yeah, there we go. And now, make an outline for it. That is a block. And max outline. There we go. And now you can see it. Let me just, I just realized it's a bit big. And there. Same goes for this one. Quickly change that. I missed it, didn't I? There it is. It's not changing, that's a problem. Let's try this again, shall we? Oh no. Maybe because it's... Yeah, there it is. Okay. Hold on. And add a 0 to that and make an outline block. And why is this outline thicker than the other one? What? How's that possible? Hold on. That is weird. That is what? How? What? Oh, that's why. No, what? Eh? Okay, I have no idea why the Afrofluff outline is thinner than the Welcome to Fluff outline. And Honestly, I'm kind of concerned now. Let's see. Maybe if I can copy, paste that stuff. Get rid of this one because it's clearly not doing the thing it's supposed to. And then move this down here. And then change that to... There we go. That's better. Except that it changed this one as well, didn't it? Does it change both? Yeah, it changes both. Oh. And I can't go back. That is annoying. Okay. Yes, get rid of that one. It was a text source. Bear with me, we'll get to the reading very soon. I did not expect any... There's a lot of technical difficulties happening right now, and I'm not down for it. So if I add this source, which is now up here, and change that... Please, just let me change it. It changes both. God, okay, sure, yeah. I'll make a whole new one. No worries. I'll make a whole new one, I guess. Yeah. Everything's going to shit. New source. Goals. Here's add. Dad. Pros. There we go. And then we go to outline. There we go. Fuck. I was concerned for a moment. I was like, where is it? There we go. Why is that outline now thick? I'm not okay with this. None of this works the way it's supposed to work. Because now this outline is way thicker than the other one. Yeah, around there. Okay. And this is supposed to be... Yeah. Okay. I'll reduce it to 5. That way it looks at least the closest to one another. There! Fucking hell! All that. Okay. We're half an hour behind thanks to that weird error. And now we are... And there's something else here. And now we are 5 minutes behind from the reading. So, without further ado, Henry, we shall get started. So the first SCP is 1041. Or Daniel, in quotation marks. So, all I can think of is... I'm sorry about that. But all I can think of is someone who's supposed to be Daniel, but it isn't. It's like a shapeshifter, or like, you know, like somebody, a doppelganger that just took over the original Daniel's place, or it has to do with a famous figure called Daniel. And I got a couple of fruit flies because I came back a couple days ago, and there was one onion that I completely forgot to throw away. Now I have fruit flies in here and got rid of most of them, but there's still a couple flying around. So let's see what Daniel is all about. It's a safe one. SCP-1040 is stored in Vault 89Q5. Sometimes I catch them, sometimes I don't. At storage site 12 as per standard. Safe class long-term storage protocol. No additional care is required. New personnel assigned to SCP-1040 are to be briefed on the object using the established identity Daniel to ensure that consistent and unambiguous communication about the object is maintained. Non-declassified personnel exposed directed to SCP-1040 must be reassigned on a monthly basis. All data on SCP-1040 is to be corrected electronically through the use of Project Null Context to ensure that the object effects do not interfere with normal documentation procedures. Alright, and I realize that my glasses are dirty as hell. So you have to name them Daniel, huh? Damn, Daniel. Oh god, let's hope that none of the Foundation members are in that area. SCP-1040 is an antique Tiffany floor lamp made of iron and stained glass. That's not what I expected. I expected a human being, but sometimes you just get something different. The item displays no unusual physical properties when provided with a 100-watt light bulb and electricity. SCP-1040 functions as typical for a floor lamp. Okay, so that's good. You can put a lamp in it or a bulb in it, and it won't I don't know, explode, mind control you, change reality as we know it. It is safe, so you have to probably activate it in some way or another. And I have something itchy here. The anomalous effect of SCP-1040 is manifest when the object is observed or discussed by any human subject. Affected persons will consistently anthropomorphize SCP-1040, referring to and or interacting with the object as though it were a male acquaintance. That's why Daniel... That must be weird. You walk into a room and your friend just walks through your lamp. It's like, hey, bro, that lamp right there, that's Daniel. Been friends with him since childhood. And it was like, that's a lamp. Yeah, he's pretty bright, isn't he? he's a bright fella. Gotta say, really like him. Has helped me out of many situations, especially with reading. Especially with reading, your god. Damn, he has helped me with that. Don't need glasses with him around. Because he's a lamp. No, he's just a genuine, really good person. Really helpful. In spite of this effect, it is possible for a subject under the influence of SCP-1040 to be reminded that the object in question is a lamp. However, this knowledge has little, if any, effect on subject's behavior. So he told you. You can say like, yeah, that's a lamp, and they will be like, yeah. So? What you want? You want a cookie for that? Your observation skills are off the charts. Anyway, Daniel is a person that I need to have by my side. The name and other details assigned to the object vary by subject, but to date have never corresponded to any real individual. If a previously affected individual introduces the object to a new subject, the subject will identify SCP-1040 as a given persona. And there's a footnote explaining exploitation of this property to facilitate containment approved. 05. I have my sounds now. I have my sounds again. 05. I don't have my sounds. What's happening? Oh, but because of the microphone, eh? Yeah, go to other settings real quick. Input this one. Output. Shit. Is this correct? Does this help? Let's see here. Nope. There we go. That should work. There we go. There we go. And just to check how loud this is. That should be good. I can close this now, right? And there we go. Everything's 05. SCP-1040 was recovered from the home of following his death in June of 1991. Responding agents encountered SCP-1040 at the site and escorted the object to Site 19, where it was kept in a humanoid containment cell until its properties were identified. And I'm just going to listen to my own voice just in case I changed something. Humanoid containment cell. Nope, it's all good. I sound clear, and how's the music? Music sounds a bit soft, eh? Okay. Maybe I can actually like blast it fully like this. Maybe not. Maybe not fully. Some new test with a new microphone. Okay, let's continue. Following his death in June, responding agents encountered SCP 104 at the site and escorted the object to Site 19, where it was kept in a humanoid containment cell until its properties were identified. Agents that remained to sweep the remainder of the home reported that all light sources in and around the dwelling, including SCP-1040, had been arranged or decorated strangely. Examples include scarves wrapped around exterior light fixtures, 5 desk and table lamps arranged on sofas or chairs and placed in front of the television, open books and other entertainment media, 2 handheld flashlights wrapped partially in cloth and arranged in a bassinet, 3 floor lamps placed horizontally on beds throughout the house. The idea of somebody like making out with the lamp is kind of hilarious to me. All lights fixtures were under the power at time of recovery, though many were missing bulbs. This is believed to be related to the owner cause of death. Heart issues exacerbated by electrocution. Yeah, of course, you're like, you're like, oh Daniel, you would never leave. You would never leave me, Daniel, would you? And I see something that, once again, I'm sorry, I'm being a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to this shit. I'm sorry about that. Let's focus back on this. But yeah, the idea that like somebody just makes out with a lamp, or maybe like something else. It seems to be a lot of like light-related stuff. Given these findings, additional properties seem likely. I'm authorizing a stay of execution for the 5D class to study the long-term effects of 5. Addendum 2, additional findings. Oh, yeah, that was Addendum 1. With repeated and or prolonged direct exposure to SCP-1040, affected individuals will begin to assign unique identities to other inanimate objects even when SCP-1040 is not present. The approximate progression is as follows. Okay, we have cumulative exposure time, 2 months, 3 months, and 6 months, I see, and observed effects. So in 2 months we have subject anthropomorphizes any freestanding light fixture greater than 1.25 meters in height. Subject anthropomorphizes any freestanding light fixture. Subject develops increasingly elaborate relationships with anthropomorphized objects, including friendship, dislike, envy, and romantic interest. How does envy work? It's like if somebody else just presses the button to turn the light switch on, he's like, and then they leave the house, and then the person just goes to that light switch and is like, well, the light's down, just goes like, how dare you let that person activate you? I thought I was special. I thought we had something. Just. Somebody walks in like, I forgot my key. And just sees them like, and you're like, you okay, bro? You homewrecker. It's like, whoa, where did this come from? 6 months, subject anthropomorphizes any object intended for use as light source. Subject becomes agitated and or withdrawn when not interacting with the light source and minimizes human contact. Given the nature of its long-term effects, personnel level 2 and higher are strongly discouraged from direct interaction with SCP-1040. Alright. That's an interesting one, having relationships with lamps. Damn, Daniel! You make my world so bright, Daniel! I should actually add some stuff here. Let me add some tags. SCP Foundation. There we go. Just to like hopefully people will watch, you know. It would be nice Would be nice if people came to watch. Also, what the hell is one of my friends at? This week has been quite empty. I mean, I know a lot of people are going back to school and work, so that might be it. That might be it. Okay. Multiple pasts disorder. So they think they have different pasts. I think that's basically it. But here's the thing. That sounds more like a potential, actually viable disease. Like somebody just really thinks that they have a different past than what they actually do. But in the SCP world... Yeah, I fucking knew it. In the SCP world, this could mean that they actually had multiple pasts. And you just are not sure which one they currently are having, or which one is the right one. Maybe something like that. Like there must be some twist where they actually do have multiple pasts. Okay, let's see what it does. It's Euclid Alter... What the fuck is Alter... That's... Sometimes... Sometimes the SB Foundation comes up with terms that I have never seen before. After reading 1,000 of these bitches, you think I would have some sort of idea what Alterius would mean, but this is the first time I've seen... maybe there's another one that I've seen with Alterius and I just completely forgot. SCP-1041 is kept in a Type 2 humanoid containment cell Site 17 and provided rations as per dietary outline AHF4. Certain identities of SCP-1041 require special consideration. See document document 1041-5C for further information. Any documentation of SCP-1041's life prior to its recovery must be confiscated, with all non-personnel who claim to have known SCP-1041 given amnestic C-1041 in order to remove any and all memories of the subject. When appropriate, false documentation and or memories are to be fabricated and provided. So we already now know. It does seem that memories play a role in this, because other people can be affected by this and think that they know the person, but maybe they don't. Maybe it's a case where like the person, the SCP, somehow, kind of like, I forgot his name from Bleach, but like there was this one character in Bleach that basically like he was able to like insert himself into people's lives and made them believe that he was in their life the entire time. Kind of like that. I think that's what this is aiming forward to. Maybe. Efforts to obtain further evidence of the narratives outlined in document 1041-5A are in progress. Okay, here we go. SCP-1041 is a human female 56 years of age that displays no anomalous physical properties, recovered on July 3rd, 2012. The subject is in good physical health apart from the lack of a left thumb. Why is the left thumb missing? We don't know. Might be part of the whole, multiple pasts that she has. Maybe one of them explains why the thumb is gone, or maybe that's the only one that the past is correct, as we established, or as I assume, as I theorize. It's probably that she has one true past, but either the Foundation knows or doesn't. SCP-1041 is a human. At the time of writing, 119 narratives of SCP-1041's life, supported by reliable documentation and witness testimony, have been compiled. 35 further narratives must most likely exist, but currently lack reliable documentation. 119 is a lot of different variation of the same. It's almost like Rashomon, but not completely. Rashomon effect is like the whole idea of like every person viewing the same event, but the perspective gives it a different context. But in this case, it's not the same event; it's the same person in different situations, and that's not. So I'm not sure what that would be called. It's definitely not the Rashomon effect, because as I said, Rashomon is like, as an example, 4 people see a car crash from different angles, from different moments, from different life situations, and some of them can say something like, "Oh, I saw the car swerving to the left and then flipping over and then crashing into a tree," while the other one will be like, "No, no, 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 that didn't happen. It swerved to the right and then it fully stopped and another car bashed into it." Like, they all saw the same thing, but because like they all saw it from different angles and different moments in their lives at different moments. Like, somebody could be happy, somebody could be sad, somebody could be more observant. They have different conclusions of the event. But in this case, like I said, it's not that they all see the same situation and try to explain it. They all just know the same person in different situations that are happening at the same time. So it's kind of okay. This is considered the primary anomalous property of SCP-1041. These narratives are often contradictory. For example, narrative 19 involves SCP-1041 attending classes at Harvard University in 1977, while narrative 44 places SCP-1041 in Vladimir Central Prison at the same time. That's what I mean. Like, it's impossible to like all account for SCP-1041's lack of a left thumb. So does every story have a reason why a left thumb is missing, or is like all account for? Okay, so all of the stories say that the left thumb was not included. Either she lost it throughout the story, or she never had one. SCP-1041 will adopt an identity set of. No, I should probably fucking text her as well. SCP-1041 will adopt an identity set of memories and personality consistent with one narrative per waking period. And we have a footnote here that says, testing has shown that any period of unconsciousness or other state of consciousness lasting at least 1 hour will cause SCP-1041 to adopt a new identity. So if she's asleep for longer than an hour, identity will change. So are they keeping her awake? And will deny any knowledge or personal history inconsistent with this identity. Another footnote. The subject will demonstrate incorrect knowledge of events since its containment. In each case, it will recall its reaction to events as though it had possessed its current personality. SCP-1041 goes through 153 identities in sequence, each of which correspond with one of the aforementioned narratives before returning to the first identity. So 153. It just repeats in those ones. It's not like she gains a whole new. I guess after a while you can only have so many different identities before, like, you know, people run out of stories that make sense, like, physically. Okay, these identities are labeled SCP-1041-001, the identity presented on the date of SCP-1041's recovery, through -153. Makes sense. Evidence indicates that SCP-1041 did not display this behavior prior to recovery. Wait. So before she was recovered, she didn't have multiple identities? Is that what they're trying to say? One or both of SCP-1041's parents or caretakers have been located in 99 instances. All gave reports mostly inconsistent with SCP-1041's memories of its childhood, including, when applicable, its birth on March 8th, 1957 at approximately 9:33 GMT. Parental testing has located 98 women and 84 men that are genetic matches for SCP-1041's parents. None of these individuals are genetically related to each other. The probability that each couple will produce an offspring identical to that of all the other couples by chance is infinitesimal. What the fuck is that? Infinitesimal. Yeah, I mean, true, because the fact that she's blood related to or just DNA related to all of them is do do they like, if they were to meet and say that we're the father and mother of this person, wait, but 56. So at best, you have to assume that majority of these father mothers are like in the 80s or 70s, depending on when they had a child, right? Some of them might be even in the 60s, if, like, you know, depending on the situation. But yeah, that's crazy. Okay, the following identities of SCP-1041 are considered notable. To view the remainder, see document 1041-5A. So instance designation 14 and 15. Notable aspects: subjects were believed to be monozygotic twins. However, testing of recovered DNA samples has shown an absence of copy number variations that are normally found in monozygotic twins. Okay, I need a explanation of that. It's probably something I already know, but I never. Identical twins, yeah, of course. Okay. Both have refused to believe that the other is another identity of SCP-1041, although neither has been able to explain why. Both -14 and -15 lost their left thumb in unrelated incidents on August 18, 1994. I wonder if all if the thumb is like lost in the same time with every story, or if it's like different times. Instance designation 19. -19 lost both legs in a car crash in 1966. For the duration of SCP-1041's adoption of this identity, it will not move either leg, despite being physically capable of doing so even under duress. Insufficient time has passed since SCP-9041 recovery to determine whether therapy can reverse this condition. So she has capable legs, but she is convinced that she cannot do it. She cannot use them honkers down there, them big sticks. 67. Subject was a high-ranking member of the crime syndicate from 1988 to 1997. Investigation indicated that -67 redirected a significant portion of resources towards destroying apparently unrelated records held by various government agencies and academic institutions. -67 has experienced retrograde and anterograde amnesia after an apparent assassination attempt in 2011, hindering further investigation. Okay. 81. -81 was employed by the Chaos Insurgency for 14 years, while the subject's exact responsibilities are not known to the Foundation. I guess now it is. I forgot a little thing here. I forgot the numbers, the big boy numbers. There we go. That's fine. 127-127 claims to possess psychic powers, supposedly allowing the subject to communicate with her past selves. Well, her past selves will technically be her alternate selves, right? What do you think, Henry? Testing has shown that the subject may possess a limited ability to access information possessed by other identities of SCP-1041. Investigation indicates that -127 may have possessed this ability since adulthood. But now here we have an interesting number, 154. They did say that there's only 153, so there's an extra one. Subject was determined to have died on January 2nd, 1999 from lung cancer. Is not among the identities displayed by SCP-1041. Police records show that -154's body was stolen from its grave on July 15, 2012, and has not been located. That's why. Okay, that makes sense why it's not considered one of the numbers then. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me just do these. Alright. Ghost Stone. Ghost stone, hey? The idea of a rock just being intangible, but like you can see it. You can see it, but you cannot touch it. Almost like a hologram. Like I wonder if it's like the idea of like, you know how like in you know how like in with Wakanda they had this hologram that looks like a jungle, but then it flew through, and then you found out there's a whole city behind it. I wonder if it's like kind of like that. You see this giant rock and you try to lean against it, and suddenly like you just phase through it because it's not actually there. I wonder if it's that. Safe. SCP-1042 is to be contained in a standard EM shielded anomalous material storage locker. So okay, you can. So it's stored away. Stored away. But in a locker as well. So it's not big. It's not like a giant boulder where you just, you know, you just can touch it. Well, not touch it because it's a ghost. Okay, when testing, precautions with equipment should be taken as the object has been noted to affect electrical devices. Of course it does. It's a ghost after all. I would say in 22 minutes, I'm gonna get myself a monster. Because I have 2 monsters in the fridge, and I left them from when I went away from here, and I've been dying to drink one. SCP-1042 is a standard brick used in foundation construction, typical of homes built in the Victorian era. Analysis has shown that SCP-1042 has similar composition to those made during. Though closer inspection shows an unusual work structure on a molecular level. When introduced to low-level electromagnetic fields or struck with a ferrous object, three-dimensional visual and auditory projection of past events appear. Again, looks like this SCP and the previous SCP are kind of connected. We have past events again. These projections are frequently accompanied by the entity designation -1. History. The Historical Society of had taken ownership of a local mansion, the site of a notorious murderer. Let me just put this over here. And double check, because like I said. Notorious murderer. Okay, we're good. Use the demonic voice for like when it says redacted and all that stuff. Murderer was giving guided ghost tours of the grounds. The original owner of the house, Mr. The town's land baron, was accused of murdering a maidservant in 18, but it was acquitted of the charges. After the trial, his wife removed herself and their children from the area, and he became a recluse before finally committing suicide in the house 3 years later. Since then, owners and staff reported seeing multiple apparitions in and around the manor of the original family, and sightings of the Black Monk, now believed to be -1. Frequency of these sightings tended to increase during thunderstorms. That is not pleasant. In 19, an electrician. I mean, just imagine a black monk. I assume like you should see like this hooded figure, just like it's like just slowly moving across like the place, just and then you see him at fucking thunderstorms, and he's just out there like just you don't see his face, just sitting there like or not sitting, standing, just walking. But even though he's walking, it looks like he's floating away. That would freak me out. If I looked out my window and saw that, I'll be like, looks like death is coming for me, honey. An electrician wiring the house to the town's new electrical grid scrapped a screwdriver across the exposed blocks to the cellar and was greeted with the image of the house's original owner murdering the maid in a reenactment of the 18 event. The apparitions showed no acknowledgement of the electrician and faded after approximately 5 minutes. Procurement. Posing as safety inspectors, Foundation agents were able to procure SCP-1042, I don't know why I said 9, using Foundation maintenance as a cover story. The brick was located using a standard electromagnetic field meter. Agents replaced it with a duplicate of equal proportions, as well as structurally bolstering the foundation of the building to avoid arousing suspicion. In experiments with SCP-1042, it has been determined that sights of sound and sounds of people or objects moving around the object are recorded for later playback. It does not appear to record inactivity, only motion. Playback of events varies in fidelity. Most images are transparent and have a blurred effect. Audio has noticeably interference, described by observers as metallic scraping or stone grinding on stone. Ugh. That, I think stone grinding on stone is like very unpleasant sound. I mean, it depends on the stones, but like I imagine like, yeah, just in general like that's stone grinding. When a low-level current is applied to the block, the effects gain much in clarity. Recorded events can be projected by introducing an EM field or by striking or scraping the block with a steel or iron object. Specific events can be chosen for playback by altering the strength of the EM field, the force of the strike, or a combination of both. The following is a selection of the more notable tests with SCP-1042. The full testing log is available as document SCP-1042-L1. So we have an experiment log here that's pretty long, and we have notes on it that's not as long, but I mean it's not that long, but you know what I mean, it's more than just 3. So here we go. EM field WM2, is that like watts per meter squared? Tracking force, none. Result: the upper half of a middle-aged woman dressed as a kitchen servant appeared with a jar of peach preserves. She placed the jar on an unseen shelf. The jar then hung in the air, apparently sitting on a shelf that corresponded to an actual shelf in the basement of the site, then turned and walked 3 paces before disappearing. At this point, researchers realized that SCP-1042 was placed on a lab table approximately 45 centimeters below its original elevation. The block was placed on an elevated shelf adjusted to its approximate height in the basement, and test was conducted again. This time the full image of the woman was seen. Cooperating with our local records, this woman was confirmed to be who worked as a servant in the manor. Okay, so it looks like the EM field is the same every time, but we have now a striking force, which is newtons. Result: researchers saw another experiment conducted in the same room 13 days before Dr. Levenstein on SCP. The manifestation lasted 13 minutes, 15 seconds. Objects in the room which remained stationary at the time of the experiment did not appear, only those that had changed position. Dr. Levenstein later confirmed that he did perform those actions in exact procedure as recorded when shown as digital recording of this test. It's kind of cool. I like the idea of a brick that has like the memory. You know how you say every brick of a house has memory stored in because like you know they lived throughout years and years in multiple families and stuff like that. This is taking that and actually giving a literal brick actual memories that you can watch. But in this case, it's also like memories of places that not built into, but just exists in the same space. So, striking for, yeah, okay, newtons. A reenactment of the May 7th murder by the owner of the house. Oh, that's a bit unpleasant, now is it? The image and sound were particularly clear. After the crime, was seen lifting the body over his shoulder and walking towards the location of the basement stairs. The image of proceeded to ascend toward the ceiling according to the location of the stairs in the basement, but the structure was not projected. Okay, then it's the same newtons, like always blank newtons. We don't have to always do that stuff. A man dressed as a mason from the area the house was built appeared standing in the front of the brick with a trowel, setting it into place. Approximately 3 meters behind him, a dark humanoid figure wearing a hooded black robe with a concealed face stood motionless. Again, if that happened to me, I'll be running. I'll be screaming. I'll be like, death's coming for me. While the work appeared in relatively good clarity, the dark figure was of noticeably lesser fidelity. It made no motion but appeared to be staring in the direction of the mason. When viewing a digital recording of the test, the black figure dubbed -1 was not seen. Yeah, that's rough, buddy. 3 men dressed as groundskeepers appeared and proceeded to cross the room. Clothing and hairstyles seemed consistent with the mid-20th century. 2 instances of -1 also appeared. 2 instances! Oh, great, not 1, just 2. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Sorry about hitting my microphone. One directly adjacent to the path, one behind Dr. Thompson. The 2 younger men engaged in a brief discussion of the various ghost sightings and legends surrounding the house. The 3rd older man reprimanded them from believing in such things and admonished them to get back to work. The 3 picked up gardening tools. The tools appeared in the projection the moment the broker made contact and vanished. It should be noted that the location of the entity behind Dr. Thompson corresponds to solid earth behind the wall that originally contained SCP-1042. Okay. As Dr. Thompson was preparing this test, Dr. entered the room and conversed with Thompson for approximately 2 minutes. During this time, the sleeve of her lab coat contacted an Erlenmeyer flask, sending it into the work sink where it broke along with several test tubes awaiting cleaning after one of Dr. Lowenstein's previously mentioned experiments with SCP. After determining the correct parameters to play back this event and summoning his colleague for viewing of her actions, the image manifested as normal. However, moments before the flask was broken, Dash 1 appeared behind Dr. and moved the flask 4 centimeters toward her arm. When a digital recording of the playback was viewed, the figure did not appear, nor was the flask seemed to move. That is a bit spooky, a bit freaky. Also a bit weird. Imagine you're like this mysterious hooded figure that like gives this like ominous aura. You know, you just feel like something's off. Something's a bit creepy about them. And then it does a prank like this. She's like, let me just move the flask a little bit over so it would look like she would hit it. Oh god, she's gonna get in so much trouble. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a weird thing to do for a mysterious hooded figure. One of the groundskeepers from the previous experiment appeared as he crossed the area of SCP-1042's effect. Dash 1 appeared to kneel down and pushed a wooden apple crate 6 centimeters toward the man. Does it just push things? Is that all it does? The groundskeeper left Nikolai with the crate and he proceeded to fall forward into a garden rake. Oh. The tines impaling his face. Oh no. Okay. I guess pushing things is not the only thing it does. It actually does seem to want to... The test tubes were test tubes of another SCP experiment, so maybe those test tubes are actually more dangerous than what they indicated on. So there was a high chance that this hooded figure was trying to kill somebody in that room in that very moment. In his right eye and left cheek, Dash 1 stood upright and observed the man writhing on the ground. The scene stopped at this point. Examining local records indicated that the groundskeeper was, after this accident confirmed to have occurred in 19, newspaper and court document account that he became an alcoholic and was involved in a series of petty crimes. Was killed in an automobile collision after leaving a drinking establishment 2 years later. The driver of the other vehicle sustained minor injuries. The 2 passengers died on impact. Note, the survivor of that accident was, who later became a prominent public advocate of drunk driving legislation and founder of, in interviews, cited this incident and the loss of his wife and child as his primary motivation. And the last test, a test scenario was created by Dr. Thompson and several other researchers moving through the room, displacing a series of objects on the floor and performing various tasks such as throwing a softball or juggling for approximately 15 minutes. An electrical current was applied to SCP-1042 during the recording phase. When a brick was activated for playback, 2-1 entities appeared in the corner of the room. Dr. Thompson examined the projection of one closely, attempting to discern its features for study. After 3 minutes of observation, the figure turned toward Thompson and a voice was heard saying, Please stop staring. It makes us frightfully uncomfortable." Startled, Thompson jumped away from the operation, nearly falling backwards. The figure then turned its attention back towards the recorded events. As before, upon viewing footage of the test, the Afro did not appear, nor was it heard. Dr. Thompson simply appeared to be interacting with empty space. The fact that all these figures just was like looking somewhere, and I imagine they don't have a head, but they still like are sweating. They're just like nervous, like, do I say something? should I stop him? He's been staring at me for like 5 minutes now. Should I stop him? And he's like, oh, this is very interesting. And he's like, no, I'm gonna just do it, just say something. So, can you please stop? It's really uncomfortable. And he's like, huh! And then he just turns it back and is like, oh, I'm glad I said something. Finally. I hope they stop. Dash 1 appears as a tall humanoid figure standing at a height of approximately 2.5 meters. Image fidelity of projection varies, but they have never been observed at the full clarity and opacity of other SCP-1042 projections. They appear to be clothed in black colored robes. Facial features also appear to be obscured by a mask with the same sort of material. Yeah, I had a Halloween costume like that, where you wear it was just hood and then like a cloth mask that makes it almost impossible to see the person's face. It's a cool costume, to be honest. Like, I like the idea of it's just very simple and you just don't see what the expression is or what the face looks like and all that stuff. But of course, the only problem is it did press against the lips, so talking was very tough, and also after a while the mask became very saliva filled, so that was not fun. Facial features also appear to be hands are humanoid with 5 digits, also covered in layers of black material. The exact nature of this clothing cannot be determined. These entities are seen in approximately 15% of SCP-1042 projections. 80% of these appearances consist of the figure standing motionless facing the object's actions. In 20% of appearances, the entities interact with subject indirectly, relocating objects in the general vicinity to a slightly altered position, always in a fashion that would ensure the subject made contact with these objects. The purpose of these actions is unknown. Unknown? They want them dead, dude. They want them dead. They're like Reapers. Basically. The only occurrence of -1 vocalizing is the above experiment log. Yeah, like, please stop looking. We are unable to determine whether the entity was interacting with researchers in real time or had predetermined our actions and performed the appropriate response during the recording phase. Given the nature of -1, it is possible that it may not perceive time in a strictly linear fashion. Further testing of this hypothesis is recommended. But I love how polite he was. Please stop staring. Just please stop. It makes us wildly uncomfortable. Just give it a rest, please. Instant structures. All I can think of is Bulma's capsules from Dragon Ball. Throw it. Press it, throw it. Instantly something there. A house, a motorcycle, a table, a kitchen, a toilet, a tent, anything. What did the capsules not have in it? And why did it not? I mean, later on it came back with like outfit, like the suits of outfit for against the cell fight, or for the training, not for the training against the cell fight. But in general, those capsules didn't make much of an appearance after a while. I think like in that world, such scientific miracle exists, and it has not, like, after the Dragon Ball in Dragon Ball Z hasn't been like fucking abused. It's crazy. But to be fair, it's also the case that Toriyama just completely forgot about them and then realized like, oh yeah, I should probably like, include those things again, or just didn't care for them enough to be like, oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z should have. At the end, like, everybody can fly. Everybody can fly. There's multiple different places to stay, to sleep, and so on and so forth. Instant structure. So let's see how long this is. Okay, after reading this, I'm gonna give myself my monster. Euclid. So we had 2 Euclids and 2 safes so far. Okay. SCP-1043 is to be held within a containment room in Storage Unit 9 at Site 33. The air humidity within the containment unit should not exceed 5% to prevent devaluation of SCP-1043, as well as potential containment breach. Experimentation on SCP-1043 requires approval of Level 3 personnel due to limited amount available. uncontained instances of -1 are be left to proceed to completion. A mobile perimeter is to be established around them to prevent public exposure. Resulting -2 to be demolished and rubble, along with the foundation of solidified -1 removed and stored at nearest low-hazard anomalous materials bulk storage facility. A mobile perimeter is to be established around uncontained instances of -1 for the purpose of monitoring. If the emerging -2 does not resemble any of the forms describing in Addendum -1, in Addendum 1, the area extending to the radius of at least 200 meters from the edge of -1 in question is to be evacuated. Any procedure 28 suitor applied. Otherwise, the resulting -2 is to be demolished and rubble along with the foundation solidified -1 removed and stored at nearest low-hazard anomalous materials bulk storage facility. SCP-1043 refers to approximately 134 sacks labeled Mollisolus Mark III and numbers 1 to 5 in large red lettering. On the lower right corner of each sack is a green stamp detailing a winged arm holding a hammer and the designation Apollodorus Construction Combine. The sacks contain a gray-green powdery substance which, if mixed with water and applied onto soil, recombines with it to form -1. -1 is a self-propagating soil anomaly appearing similar to a pool of concrete. -1 at this stage has been shown to have remarkable surface tension, able to support pressure of up to 40 kPa. I don't know what kPa means. No, I don't know. If removed from the main pool, samples of -1 cease activity and coalesce, producing an isotropic gray solid of stiffness similar to concrete, but a far higher yield strength, Vickers hardness 50, Hg30, but otherwise lacking anomalous properties. Laboratory analysis has revealed the composition to be that of surrounding substrate, with SCP-1043 acting as a resin matrix. Initially, an instance of -1 propagates at a rate of approximately meters squared per hour, assimilating surrounding soil until reaching a depth of, is that supposed to be circa? I think it's circa 1.5 meters and a final, of circa 8 times the area covered by the resulting -2. After approximately hours, a number of ambulatory growths bearing outwards resemblance to human arms begin to form within -1. No, we don't need that. No, don't want it. We don't like what you're selling. Once fully formed, the growths proceed to use -1 as well as occasionally salvage raw materials within the perimeter affected by -1 to construct a structure or object labeled -2. See Addendum 1 for a list of -2 types known. After the construction is complete, leftover -1 retreats towards the center and hardens, providing a foundation for the structure. Experimenting with decreasing the quantity of SCP-1043 used as shown the process to successfully complete. However, the base layer is proportionally thinner and beyond a point characterized by the thickness of the transformed soil layer not exceeding centimeter. The process fails to complete. Addendum 1, list of -2 types. Designation, -2-1, appearance, a smooth-walled rectangular building of base circa 30 times 20 meters and height of circa 10 meters. The interior divides into 2 floors, each containing 41 identical rooms and of about twice the size. The smaller rooms, walls, and floor contain a number of protrusions bearing outward resemblance to shelves, bedding, and a table. The larger room's floor contains several holes, circa 25 centimeters in diameter, which terminate below the structure base. The microstructure of most surfaces have been found to physically interfere with germs' growth. Designation -2-2, a semicircular dome approximately 60 meters in radius with decorative elements resembling the architecture of Mussolini-era Italy. There are 4 entrances located 90 degrees apart. Interior contains a raised podium and approximately 500 irregularly arranged seating places, connected via stairs. The internal walls and roof curve considerably and contain a large number of structural features. Analysis has shown the structure to possess excellent auditory properties. Incident 1 on 2000. Members of MTF-G4 brick breakers were dispatched to a supposed instance of SCP-836. Oh, SCP-836, I think. It's crazy how many numbers there are in this world. In this SCP-836. Structural cancer. Yes, I remember that one. It was definitely like how a structure can have cancer and slowly a tumor grows into it and it just dies, falls apart. Infestation in Canada. However, on the site assessment has shown this to be an uncharacteristic instance of SCP-1043 spreading rapidly in an approximately 10 cm deep layer and repurposing material within its perimeter to repeatedly construct what appeared to be several sections of a statue and fuse them in a seemingly random arrangement, forming a mound approximately meter in diameter. And let's see the statue here that says. Actually, I can identify segments include humanoid arm approximately 50 meters long with its finger embedded into a spheroid, a square slab, and ditto expunged cross section. Procedure 28 suture used upon operatives approved by Dr. G shown successfully in halting SB 1043-1 activity. Incident 2 on 2000. A raid on a coffee shop suspected to serve as a cover for Are We Cool Yet? Activity related to the spreading of SCP as a part of the recent We Are the 99 Bottles campaign. Among the items procured was a moleskine notebook containing sketches resembling SCP-1043-1 and detailed drawings of structures resembling SCP-1018, which is one of the more recent ones that we read, but I still have to check here to make sure I don't do any dumb mistakes. The Thirst, yes. Yes, the 3 statues are, yeah. Yeah, the ones that create ghosts that want to drink real bad but can't. SCP, as well as objects of seemingly impossible geometry. The drawings are dimensioned and surrounded by stenographic markings and a number of yet undeciphered symbols, as well as arbitrary content such as stylized sketches of common objects, and a drawing of a nude female identified as A.P. Freelance writer frequenting the same establishment. The notebook contains a number of fingerprint marks which have determined to consist of SCP-1043 powder. Page 23 of the notebook shows a crossed-out drawing with features similar to the structure encountered by MTF-G4 during Incident-1. Incident 1. It is followed by a number of calculations ending with A equals 43.2, unknown symbol, 2I fuck yeah underlined twice. Scanned copies of the notebook contents are available to personnel with 2 level 2 clearance, basically. Okay. It's just some people. It's just an SCP that wants to create houses, man. Doesn't seem too bad. Okay, let me be right back. I'll get myself something to drink. Well, the monster. Be right back. I have returned. Alright. Ooh, monster. I hope I don't smack it by accident. The contradictory echo. So it's an echo where instead of saying the same thing back to you, it's saying something else. There was a Scooby-Doo joke once like that. It was a scene where Shaggy was like saying hello in a cave, and his echo was like hello, and he's like anybody there, and the echo just goes no. It's one of my favorite. It's like from the old school, like 60s, 80s Scooby-Doo. That was one of my favorite jokes, definitely. So I assume it's like kind of like that. It's like an echo that just responds by answering you instead of repeating what you say. Third save. SCP-1044 is to be surrounded at all possible access points by signs in English and French warning of falling rocks, avalanches, landmines, and dangerous animals. The area should be kept under periodic aerial surveillance, and at least one member of the personnel who will be available on short notice. To further discourage any non-personnel who choose to ignore the warnings. SCP-1044 is located in a small uninhabited valley in the Alpine region of France, located at northeast and measuring approximately 1.2 kilometers across and 0.6 kilometers wide as a broadcast point. The properties of SCP-1044 were first encountered in 1968 after rumors of unusual sounding echoes began to spread through the local area. These reports range from the valley producing echoes that talk back to they're expunged. While the reported phenomena were widely dismissed as urban legend by local authorities, researchers were dispatched on the 3rd, 6, 2000 to determine the veracity. The following are partial transcript of the 3 investigations carried out over the course of the following 2 years. So I'm not going to do the blank sound all the time, unless it's like in the sentence. We have researcher A and we have researcher F, so we're going to give them 2 different voices. How should we begin? Perhaps hello. Hello? I didn't get that. Try louder. Hello. Researcher A voice is in a manner resembling an echo. Goodbye. Goodbye. Did you hear that? That was good. I got it. Let me try something else. Is anybody down there? In the same manner as previous. Is anybody up here? Yes! As an echo of researcher F's voice. No! So it basically just says the opposite of what you said. So if you ask, is anybody down there? It's going to be, is anybody up there? Up here. Instead of, yeah, okay, it just literally flips at stuff. Hold on. Try that again. As loud as possible. Yes! No! I then go to researcher F. Yes. Oh, okay. Because it was loud enough that the echo created another echo. Like it continued, and the continued echo was like not just like a single return. It was like multiple. So it can even respond to itself. If the first echo is contradicting you, is the second echo contradicting the first echo? Wait, if the first echo is contradicting you, is the second echo contradicting the first echo? Oh, the second echo was just my own echo coming through late. Let's continue. Experiment 2. This is fun. I can imagine it can be a lot of fun to experiment like that. Henceforth, it can be assumed that the response of SCP-1044 are heard in the form of an echo, the same voice as the person who made the initial statement. Dog! Dog. Dog. I suppose there's no opposite statement to dog. Cat? Not a true opposite. The phenomenon appears to follow a consistent logic. I am a man. I am not a man. And so, rather than echoing I am a woman, it attempts to relay the logical opposite. It is not yet clear that it has an awareness required to attempt anything. What about the hello from the previous experiment? The echo said goodbye. It will make sense, possibly, that the statement of parting ways is logically opposite to a statement of greeting. Maybe, or it is not as logically infallible as we think. Suggesting what precisely? Experiment 3. Ditto expunged. I just realized I mean, pure darkness. Don't like that. There we go. That's nice. So something happened in experiment 3 that didn't go well. Did not go so hot. Analysis of the audio transcripts of the experiments all conclude that SB1044 is an echo localized to a single valley that directly contradicts the speaker wherever logical contradiction of the statement or question is possible. Where multiple echoes are heard, each subsequent echo will contradict the previous. In the later experiments, attempts were made to test SCP-1044 by calling out self-contradictory statements such as this sentence is false. This invariably resulted in ditto expunged. Further experiments are to avoid such attempts. Okay, so something happens when you actually give it like a paradox. Okay, interesting. Well, we've reached the halfway point. There we go. Candle of life. As long as it's lit, things are alive around it. Maybe it can even bring back It can bring back the dead. Maybe. That's nice. Oh, it's nice and short. I like nice and short ones. Like, I mean, no, I like both. I like long ones and I like nice and short ones. But long ones is just a bit tough because, of course, as a stream, I have to read it all. Let me check something. I see. SCP-1045 is stored in a low security locker 17 at Site 21. No flammable materials or sources of open flame are to be brought within 5 meters of SCP-1045 except for testing purposes. SCP-1045 is a square wood-framed candle lantern measuring 15 x 15 x 32 centimeters. Its sides are made of translucent wax paper and its interior framework provides a nested support of a circular glass cup measuring 6.5 centimeters in diameter and 10 centimeters in height. The anomalous properties of SCP-1045 do not manifest unless both components are used together. When a candle is placed within SCP-1045 and lit, the walls of SCP-1045 depict the shadow of a miniature humanoid as if lit from behind by the candle. Oh. The shadow on each side of the lantern depicts a different angle of the same subject. The shadow of the humanoid is always writhing as if in pain, and it is surrounded by what appears to be a semi-opaque flames. So it feels like the shadow is like acting as if it's set on fire. The shadow of the figure will persist as long as the candle is burning. Its motions become more frantic as the candle comes closer to burning out. Oh boy. All candle residue recovered from SCP-1045 consists of rendered human fat, regardless of the original makeup of the candle. Damaged DNA samples have been recovered, but the identity of the source individuals has yet to be determined. Addendum. Testing has revealed that burning scented candles produced shadows of different figures. In addition, burning a scented candle allows the shadow to emit sound. The volume of the sound is dependent on the strength of the scent. To date, all shadows have only produced incoherent screams. Well, that's lovely. Candle of Life, yeah, great. It's more like Candle of Torture for shadow creatures. That's intense. That is a house without a bedroom. I mean, that doesn't sound like an SCP. That could just be poor design or poor furniture shopping. I mean, if you think about it, if this room didn't exist in that room over there, the other bedroom, then yeah, I would not have a bedroom. I would only have the 2 bathrooms and the kitchen. So, and technically, I live in a student dorm where for a year where it was just a bedroom, basically just one square of a room, where the bed, the kitchen, and the bathroom were all like super close. So that's technically not a bedroom because it's just all in one spot, right? It's the bedroom, it's the kitchen, and the bathroom all in the same time. But I'm just saying, like, that just doesn't seem like something that could be seen as an SCP, unless it's like a bedroom that slowly but surely vanishes. Then yes, then I can see how this is an SCP. Euclid. The building currently integrated. The previous one was also Euclid, right? Because that would mean that we have now 3. No, that's safe. Okay, yeah, of course, it's because it's yeah. We have 4 safes. Am I right? 4 safes, and 2 Euclids. No, we have 3 Euclids. So. But this is not number 7. It is number 7 because 7 will be 8, 9. Yeah, this is number 7. So we have 3 Euclids, 4 safe. That's what it was. Okay, the building currently integrated with SCP-1046 is to be contained in a standard domicile containment unit. All surfaces contacting the building are to be constructed out of wooden materials. In the event of a containment breach, all portions of SCP-1046 found outside of containment are to be surgically removed and transplanted into the original building or a suitable replacement building. SCP-1046 is a collection of 781 separate human body parts, formerly a man named. The portions of SCP-1046 body are alive and fully functional, despite not receiving any sustenance or containing any blood. That's a lot of body parts. Are they like different, or all from one person? So like, has he been sliced and diced into 781 pieces? I cannot imagine. Like, I imagine, like, yeah, you can basically like just, sorry, like you can like cut here, and then slowly it becomes like, you can maybe the entire arm can be like 200 pieces if you cut them correctly or something. I don't know. SCP, why am I talking about slicing and dicing an arm? SCP-1046 is located within the former home of. Portions of SCP-1046 are located throughout the home, with some portion of the body replacing utilities within the home, such as portions of the skin replacing 3 curtains and a lampshade. Is that why it's called a house without a bedroom? Because technically the entire house is a bedroom, as long as if there's a piece lying somewhere randomly around. And some inhibiting functional objects within the home, such as a sink being clogged by an artery and a large portion of the face being permanently affixed to the living room television. That's kind of messed up. That's very messed up. At random intervals, portions of SCP-1046 will shift throughout any non-biological surface into which they are currently integrated. This shift can take anywhere from 45 minutes to several weeks. Additionally, the portion of the face integrated into the television and any other portion of the SCP-1046 capable of producing sound will begin to make distraught vocalization. Don't do that. Faucets located within SCP-1046 will begin to produce small amounts of saline during this time, despite the building not being connected to any water source. SCP-1046 was discovered on the 9th to 18th, 1994, after Foundation assets in the Davie Sheriff Department followed up on a report of a House of People parts. That is, yeah, I mean, even just that whole concept is already like messed up enough. But the fact that they just move, and I don't know if they just move as in like if they just telepathically just lift up and then just move, or if they like roll around, or like the worm like the worm thing like a finger that's like a I don't know. Excuse me. All of that seems very freaky. Investigation into the alleged house revealed SCP-1046 anomalous properties. Subsequent surgical intervention allowed agents to achieve successful containment. SCP-1046 was contained on the 11th, 1994. So, 2 months afterwards, yeah. Probably because I had to spend 2 months just searching the entire house for body parts. And classified as Euclid, similarities between SCP-1046 and SCP-1582 has been noted. An investigation into the similar origin of the two phenomena is currently ongoing. Documents recovered from the residence of SCP-1046 was located and have proven to be relevant to SCP-1046's current condition. Further investigation into the Malva Real Estate Corporation are ongoing. The letters were found in a bureau drawer and appear to be copies of letters that were sent to an unknown party. Dear Mr. Bear, yeah. Recently I moved into one of your company's marvelous new homes and found it to be quite luxurious. Oh, is this gonna be like some reveal that they found a fucking finger? The ads are right, you really do feel like part of the home. However, I am writing you this letter to the fact that my new house no longer contains the bedroom. Would it be possible to get a contractor out here to remedy the situation? Sincerely. Okay. Trying to figure out if he says that there is no bedroom because he's already like split apart and he can't go onto a bed, or he doesn't find the bedroom. Because he does say the ads are right, you really do feel like part of the home, because the whole point of this SCP is that like all the body parts are like located in different parts of the home and different parts of furniture. Dear Mr. Bar, I don't believe you received my last correspondence, and as such I am writing to you again. Since you did not send a contractor as I requested, I have decided to hire one of my own. Unfortunately, several injuries sustained on my property compelled them to leave without finishing. I once again compel you to remedy the error. Sincerely, Mr. Bear. Okay, no more deal. They're done. This is the third time I've contacted you, and I do not believe your ignorance of my issue is accidental. I demand that you send a contractor to finish my home at once. It is unacceptable for a gentleman of my stature to be reduced to sleeping in the living room. If my home is not supplied with... God fucking fruit flies, dude. With a master bedroom within the next 3 weeks, I will be forced to summon my lawyer. To those who it may concern, I'm alone, trapped and dark. I'm all over. I feel the creaks of the beams. I taste the staleness of the wall, and I am dry. I need my bedroom. Several days into the dawning of the sincere letter sent an insincere man. He said I would be my house. I am a man. Don't take me anymore, please. Got you, fucking little shit. I can't I can't get sleep. Oh, the remainder of the note is unintelligible. So like they just literally became part. So whoever Mr. Bear was, or Bar, probably knew what the outcome of this house will do to you. Like they probably know the anomalous effect, and were like, oh, let's throw some guy in there. Vengefully ironic street signs. Vengefully ironic street signs? I imagine a stop sign. just baseball swings itself. If you decide not to stop, it's just like poof. And the reason why it's ironic is because the stop sign is supposed to make you stop, so you take the safety precaution, right? You like look around, see like, oh, nobody's coming, I can go now. But it's just because you ignored what it does, it just decides to attack you. So instead of stopping you for your own safety, it just destroys you. Okay. Another save. Okay, this is now the 5th save. All instances of -1 through -5 are to be individually shrink wrapped in nitrogenous atmosphere to minimize their exposure to atmospheric carbon dioxide and stored in standard inanimate object lockers equipped with atmospheric sensors to measure carbon dioxide concentration and automatic calendar dispensers set to deactivate in case of fire. Long ass sentence. With a lot of big boy words in there. All instances of -1 to be stored with the arrow pointing towards the ground. So they have arrows. It's not a stop sign or something like that. -6 cannot currently be taken into custody and is contained at the location where it was discovered. The apartment building has been purchased by the Foundation via a front company and is to be kept unoccupied. Dual pump systems have been constructed to evacuate the atmosphere in the room containing -6 and replace it with the nitrogen C appendix -B26 for mechanical specification and diagrams. These pumps are to run continuously. All personnel maintaining the pumps or researching the interference into the room containing -6 should wear standard radiation dosimeters and comply with standard health and safety regulation for radiation exposure. SCP-1047 is a collection of 6 standard types of traffic and street signs, each type of which induces a different anomalous effect. These anomalous effects activate when an instance of SCP-1047 is taken from its standard pole and contained in a room where there are atmospheric concentration of carbon dioxide greater than approximately 600 ppm and or atmospheric concentration of the various combustion products of marijuana, cannabis sativa greater than 100 ppm. Specific activation parameters for atmospheric conditions remain to be determined, as does the precise operational definition of room. In all situations, these properties do not extend beyond the walls of the room in question and can be interrupted by opening a door or window from the outside to promote a gas exchange. -1, 18 instances in custody, is a one-way sign. So there's 18 version of -1. When -1 is okay, these are all now the different dashes. So here we go. -1 seems to be the longest one. It's activated. The force of gravity within the room will immediately reorient itself so that down is the direction of the arrow and the one-way sign. So because the one-way sign is like an arrow that points upwards, that means you just start like falling up. If, when falling towards the new direction of gravity, the direction of the arrow is changed, an example because the sign spins in mid-air or collides with an object during free fall, the direction of the gravity will then immediately point in the new direction of the arrow. If the room is an independent structure rather than part of a larger structure, example mobile homes, camping tents, or portable toilets, the gravitational reorientation can lead to the forcible and continuous displacement of the structure in question. Such displacement tend to result in the structure being destroyed by multiple collisions with its environment, at which point -1 deactivates, but have also been known to lift the structures to the upper level of the atmosphere, at which point -1 likewise deactivates to reduce air pressure. Damn. It actually has been like some odd childhood fear of mine. And one day, you know, gravity would just turn off, and I would just start floating upwards, and there's nothing to grab. Like I'll be outside when it happens, and I start like floating upwards. I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm just floating, and then but then like when you reach like 10,000 meters up in the air, it just activates again, so you just fall. Yeah, something like that. It's been something like all childhood like fear of mine, even though that's never going to happen. -2, 23 instances in custody is a stop sign. Okay, what does please tell me the stop sign fucking. When -2 is activated, all vertebrate organisms within the room will immediately experience total paralysis of all voluntary muscles. Causes of death for individuals afflicted by -2 include fall-related injuries, aspiration on food, and starvation. Ew. How long does it last? I guess till they die, yeah? Because of starvation. -3. Oh, but it's no stop sign, just smacking the shit out of you because you ignored it. -3, 31 instances in custody is a no parking sign. When -3 is activated, all vertebrate organisms within the room become unable to stop moving or to lose consciousness, and instead paced constantly until they die of exhaustion, because you can't park there. As well, afflicted organisms are unable to leave -3's zone of influence. Ooh. You may not be able to park here, so you just walk around. For all eternity, just walk. Find yourself a parking spot if you can. -4, 15 instances is a merge sign. When -4 is activated, the skin of all vertebrate organisms within the room and all surfaces, with the exception of -4 itself, that have touched skin within the past 24 hours, will immediately take on a semi-liquid consistency, causing them to bond with each other at a molecular level upon contact. That reminds me of the sun. 001, the sun. When the day breaks. -5. 4 instances in custody. It's a yield sign. When -5 is activated, all vertebrate organisms within the room will immediately lose all volition and will sit motionlessly until such time as they see or hear any statement which can be interpreted as a command, at which point they will expend the minimum effort necessary to obey if this can be accomplished without leaving the room. Note, although it can reasonably be assumed that -5's effect applied to all vertebrate organisms, the obedience effect has only been tested on humans and untrained mammals. -6 is presumed to be a speed limit 55 sign, although this cannot be directly verified due to the nature of its anomalous effect. Within its area of effect, apartment 6, 239 redacted Avenue. Here comes the burp soon. The speed of light is 55 miles, 88 kilometers per hour. As a result, relativistic effects on Cherenkov radiation and the interface mean that it's impossible to enter the apartment. There's a footnote. Due to the gross difference between the local speed of light and the average particle speed in the 22 centimeter room, Cherenkov radiation emitted at the threshold of the effect consists of high energy gamma rays rather than visible light. Didn't catch it. Caught the other one before though, so that's one down. I think this is like the second last one that exists in my apartment, maybe. Dual pumps have been constructed on site to drain the atmosphere within the apartment and replace it with nitrogen. Atmospheric concentration are expected to drop below -6 activation parameters after 473 years of continuous operation. That's a lot of years you gotta spend. Acquisition log. SB1047 was discovered on Following incident A, involving an instance of the iPhone being stolen from a telephone pole in the city of Redacted and installed as well. I smacked it, but didn't kill it. And installed as a wall decoration in a nearby apartment. The resulting 5 deaths were explained as a result of a truck crashing into the building. Oh. Investigation showed that City Councilor Redacted had recently spoken out against an increase in street sign theft and had claimed that all sign thieves would get what they deserve. Oh, so he might have some sort of like connection. When approached by the Foundation for an interview, Councilor Redacted immediately committed suicide. The second council member died of a cerebral hemorrhage at the time, as did 2 employees of the City Department of Infrastructure. Another 2 employees of the Department of Infrastructure were struck and killed by lightning at that moment. Autopsies revealed no anomalies, except that all 6 corpses had identical teeth. Identical teeth, huh? Doesn't tell me anything right now, but that is... Wow. Imagine that. One of them dies and then everybody else goes with them. Crazy. We only have 2 more to read, and we're doing pretty good on time, gotta say. Now watch it being like a fucking hour. Last one to read, right? Build-A-Bear. Isn't that an American toy? Where you can build a bear. But in this case, the bear builds you. Or it builds itself. Or builds more of itself. Ooh, 1,407. Okay. Damn it, almost. Save. Keto. SCP-1048 is currently free to roam Site-24 as it poses no threat and has been observed to greatly improve the morale of personnel interact with it. Well, that has been changed. Because it's clearly not doing that at all anymore. The whereabouts of SCP-1048 are currently unknown, though it is still believed to be somewhere inside 24. Wait, you lost it? What do you mean you lost it? It's just wandering around right now and you guys have no fucking clue where it is? Oh, great. Great. Let's see what it does first before we freak out, though. Maybe it doesn't do anything bad. We find out it actually can build a nuke. I'm a bear and I like to build, and today we shall build an atomic bomb. The whereabouts of the subject is to be secure for containment, but any creation of SCP-1048 should be destroyed on site, unless further evidence warrants less extreme actions. No teddy bears are to be allowed in Site-24 to prevent any confusion or mistaken identity. Any object that resembles a teddy bear is to be reported to the security team immediately. Why? This is not a joke. We have no idea what SCP-1048's full capabilities are. Who knows how many of the damn things are out there by now. Dr. Carver. SCP-1048 is a small teddy bear approximately 33 centimeters in height. Through testing, composition of the subject revealed no unusual qualities that make it discernible from a non-sapient teddy bear. The subject is capable of moving of its own accord and can communicate through a small range of gestures. The subject regularly shows affection to individuals in ways found endearing by most people. Affection is usually given in the form of a hug to the lower leg, but the subject also has been observed dancing, jumping in place, and in 2 separate events it has even drawn childlike pictures for janitorial staff. All Foundation personnel that have interacted with the subject have responded positively to its affection, even D-class with normally sociopathic tendencies. So no wonder they were like, oh, it's nice, it's a good boy, but then it decided to like fucking stab you in the back. Takes a knife and like does the Chucky thing. Hi, I'm Chucky, and we'll be friends at the end. You bitch! Attempts at direct communication with SCP-1048 have not been considered successful. Though it is capable of simple gesturing to indicate a yes or no answer, it will often not react to lines of questioning concerning its nature or where it's originated from. It is not known if this is because SCP-1048 simply does not know the answers or because it does not want to answer. Though capable of drawing pictures, it has not used its art as a form of communication beyond showing affection, even when encouraged to do so. The more anomalous behavior, here we go, of SCP-1048 was not observed until approximately 7 months after it was originally secured. Here we go. Here's when now it all turns dark. This cute little fuzzy teddy bear suddenly is like, hey, I'm gonna make sure you're all fucking dead by the end of this month. It is hypothesized that the subject is able to construct crude replicas of itself using various materials by a process that has yet to be observed directly by Foundation staff. Dr. Carver has suggested that SCP-1048 uses its endearing qualities to lure those around it to a false sense of security, allowing it to collect materials to produce those creations. It's creating an army. Currently, there are 3 known creations of SCP-1048 designated -A-B-C. The nature of these creations has been in stark contrast to SCP-1048's general behavior, as all have exhibited extreme violence towards humans. Oh, fuck. You created a monster. Just like some Shady created a monster. They don't want Marshall no more. They want Shady. Oh no. Okay. On Dash 8 was discovered wandering Site 24, accompanied by SCP-1048. Subject resembles a teddy bear similar in size and shape to SCP-1048, but is made entirely out of human I don't think I heard you right. Because I think my ears been missing. Witnesses interviewed reported that it appeared SCP-1048 was giving a tour of Site 24 to -A. Dr. Carver was called to the scene along with security team. The security team arrived first and attempted to contain -A. Subject emitted a high-pitched shriek that inflicted intense pain in the eyes and ears of everyone in a 10-meter radius. Of course. Ear-related pain. Ear-like growths immediately began growing on those within 5 meters of the subject, covering their bodies in less than 20 seconds. Ew, that's fucking nasty. Imagine like you just look at your arm and it's just like, just a ear starts growing out of it. And it's not like the Nico Robin thing where it just like pops up or like just grows out and then vanishes. Which now that I think about it, it must be odd. Imagine like you're just hanging out with Nico Robin. Next thing you know, like an arm just grows out of your arm. Because it's anime, of course you just accept it as like, oh, that looks silly, that looks like fun. But in real life, that would be creepy as shit. Just like, and you're like, immediately began growing out those within, covering the bodies in less than 20 seconds. Every person afflicted with this symptom died within 3 minutes, resulting in the death of personnel, including the entire security team. Autopsies revealed that the cause of death to be asphyxiation caused by an abundance of ear-like growths manifesting in the mouths and trachea of all victims. SCP-1048 and -A fled to the scene before Dr. Carver arrived and have not been contained since the incident, though sightings of both have been reported on multiple occasions. Shortly after this incident occurred, a researcher was discovered missing an ear. According to him, it was removed through an unknown means while he was sleeping. No other victims of ear removal were found, so it is unclear if SCP-1048 obtained more ears from another source or if it's capable of duplicating objects or material. Honestly, the first option is scarier. The fact that it might have gotten ears from somewhere else is a scary thought. Because first of all, this cute cuddly teddy bear is just walking around just stealing people's ears. That is uncomfortable. And second, that makes the Foundation job way harder. Because then you have to like check so many surrounding areas. Be like, oh, you still have your ears? Okay, well, but a teddy bear made out of human ears only. Ugh. It can't be worse than that, right? Right? Dash B. Subject was discovered by several Foundation staff members in the cafeteria of Site 24. On subject's appearance was nearly identical to SCP-1048, but moved in an irregular, jerky manner. Okay, so it looks like a teddy bear, but it was just like... Witnesses reported that it appeared as if something was moving inside of Dash B. Subject made no attempt to interact initially until a burst in its seams revealed what appeared to be the hand and arm of a human infant poking out and grasping at the air. At the sight of this, a female researcher named screamed, and Dash B reacted by emitting a high-pitched cry similar to that of a human infant. The subject then attempted to get expunged. The screaming researcher causing massive internal damage. In the ensuing chaos, a security team was forced to redacted. Both the researcher and Dash B. Approximately 3 hours after this incident, Dr. was found unconscious and bleeding in her office. An abortion had been performed on her while she was sleeping, and the 8-month-old fetus was never found. It is hypothesized that SCP-1048 used Dr. Unborn Child to create Dash... Oh, this is sick. This is fucked up. Information regarding the possible origin of Dash B is not to be leaked to the survivors currently undergoing therapy for the incident with Dash B, as Dr. Carver believes it will be extremely detrimental to their recovery. It's fucking stole a fetus and decided to grow it inside another teddy bear. And it did. It grew in it. It grew. Oh, fucking hell. The first one was like, just like, from the side was like already like gross. But this one, this Dash B is messed up. That is messed up. Dash C, please be gentle. Dash A and Dash B were fucking horrible. I love it. I think as like an SCP, it's awesome. But like, my god, this is dark. Subject resembles a teddy bear similar to SCP-1048, but composed entirely of rusted metal scraps. That doesn't sound too bad. That's like normal, weird. Subject was first sighted on by Dr. Carver in his office while writing up a report on the Dash B incident. Subject fled the room and noticed Dr. Carver observing it. In the attempted pursuit of Dash C, Dr. Carver witnessed the death and maiming of Foundation personnel as the subject exhibited extreme violence during his escape. Dash C has not been encountered since its initial sighting and is unknown whether it still resides somewhere within Site 24. The origins of any materials possibly used to construct Dash C by SCP-1048 are also unknown at this time. You know, that's actually, you know what's creepy about this? There's 4 of these teddy bears walking around. And nobody knows where. They just might one day show. You might go to the bathroom. Open up the stall, and Dash C is just waiting in there just to fucking destroy you. That is... Henry, please don't do that to me. That is messed up. Addendum 1, SCP-2295 is similar but nearly antithetical in function to SCP-1048. Attempts to establish a common origin are ongoing. Extreme caution is to be taken if Dash A or Dash C are encountered again. I cannot stress this enough. The damn thing just jumped right through those poor people, Dr. Carver. Jumped like right through. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, Build-A-Bear. Ooh, you're naughty. You're dangerous. You're creepy. I like you. I love you. But you messed up. Last one. The bone takeout. Okay. What if the bone takeout is not even as bad as a Build-A-Bear? Because the Build-A-Bear was already like messed up, and Build-A-Bear has like such a cute name to it. And now we have the bone takeout. That's when you think like, oh, that's definitely messed up. It's an owl that swoops in, just like grabs, takes your fucking your femur and just flies away. It just takes like one of your leg bones and just flies away. And that's the last save we got here. 6th save, I believe. We had 1 key to 1 key to 3 Euclids, 6 saves. SCP-1049 is to be kept in a 1x1x3 meter aviary. Other than a perch 2 meters above ground, feed and water container, no foreign objects are permitted in SCP-1049's enclosure. SCP-1049 must be kept tethered to the perch at all times. If entry to SCP-1049's enclosure is required, protective clothing must be worn and time spent inside the enclosure must be kept to a minimum. SCP-1049 is to be fed a diet consisting mostly of beetles, crickets, and locusts. Small bats or mice may also be offered once per week. Personnel must not enter SCP-1049's enclosure to feed it. The feeder attached to the aviary allows for food to be offered from outside, because otherwise it's gonna take your fucking bones. SCP-1049 is an adult male black and white owl. That's Strix nigrolineata. Is that the name for the type of owl or for the color of the owl as well? Oh, look at them. That looks like an owl that would take your bones. Especially like this. You got some bones. Hey bro, you got some of those bones. You got, come on. Where you going? You ain't escaping me. I know where you live. It is physically identical to any other member of its species, save for its eyes, which are reddish pink. Like that. Seems to be very similar to its species, which are its dietary needs and hunting behaviors are similar to those of any other owl. However, SCP-1049 exhibits the ability to remove the skeletons of humans by unknown means. The entire skeleton, not even like a single bone, the entire skeleton. It's presumed that it does this only to humans. Oh, thank you. I feel so honored. You're like the 100th SCP that only does things to humans. As SCP-1049 does not appear to have used the ability on any other creatures prior to containment. SCP-1049 was found after police in Mexico made reports of boneless corpses found in the nearby junk. That must be so weird for the police to find. Like you either think like someone got skinned, or somehow somebody ate the bones and left the skin behind, something like that. With no signs of external injury or another person having committed the crime. However, one victim had been found with several feathers resting on the corpse's chest, which were identified as belonging to an owl. Locals in the area reported seeing an unusual red-eyed specimen near to where the corpses were found and claimed that they had caused the deaths of the victims. Police immediately discounted the claims. Foundation officials received the reports during routine intelligence checks and researched the area, eventually finding SCP-1049. Before SCP-1049 could be contained, it alighted upon the shoulder of Agent. SCP-1049 bit at Agent's face, although Agent suffered no injury. After several seconds, Agent collapsed. Agent's body appeared to cave in on itself. Remains of Agent were found to be completely boneless. Cause of death is believed to be pressure and shock applied to the brain after the loss of the cranium. So it doesn't actually like take it out, it just makes it go, the bones just disappear. Like the spell in Harry Potter where the bones just vanished. SCP-1049 later produced Harry Potter, spell vanished, owls, it's all connected. SCP-1049 later produced a pellet containing small pieces of human bones, including phalange fragments and a cochlea. Testing confirmed that the fragments belonged to Agent. SCP-1049 will attack any humans it sees in this manner, resulting in complete loss of bone tissue and resultant death. Examination of SCP-1049 reveals no internal anomalies or any indication of what causes the reaction seen in Agent. It is also unknown how bone fragments are ingested by SCP-1049, as it does not attempt to eat its victims. And that was it. pretty simple. I think it deserves more than 89 thumbs up. I think that's like a good like 200 worthy. The bone thick owl, like, yeah, I think that's pretty good. And here is my list. Here, of course, Build-A-Bear. Gotta say, Build-A-Bear was a whole new level of messed up. That shit was disturbing. That was disturbing. It just is, and I just now realized I'm facing the wrong direction when it comes to like reading this type of stuff. But that's for tomorrow to fix. So yeah, I think the Build-A-Bear was definitely very intense, very disturbing. Even though Dash A and Dash C are the ones that are more like dangerous to humans, Dash B is like the concept or the blueprints of Dash B Bear is just very messed up to me. The fact that SCP-1048 decided to just steal a fetus and stuff it inside a bear, and that fetus grows and then it screams and becomes part of the... it's just... that in itself can be a horror movie. Take the idea of Chucky, make it a bear that steals fetuses and stuffs it in a different bear, and it just grows and it just becomes all like malformed and all that stuff. It's messed up. Ghost Stone, I think what I like about Ghost Stone is just the fact that the Reapers were like, please don't, can you for fuck's sake stop staring at us? It's wildly uncomfortable. It's just like, would you like it if we did that to you? You know what I mean? I would. But also just a general idea of, you know, every brick of a house has thousands of stories because of like how many like families have lived in that household and stuff like that. So like the fact that it just shows you the story of the building it's currently occupies is pretty cool. Candle of Life, I think Candle of Life is a bit intense because like it's a shadowy creature that suffers the entire time the candle is on, and even if the candle is off, it's the suffering doesn't really end. It just basically dies, I guess. So it's just stuck in a frozen time of suffering until you lit the candle up again. Bone Taker Owl, yeah, I mean, who wants to like have an owl on their shoulder and suddenly it just like grabs your nose? You're like, oh, that's so cute, and suddenly your whole body just collapses. Your skin just like it's not as messed up as a bear, but it is a scary thought that an owl just like, you know, just grabs you wherever your bone is and suddenly your whole body just collapses. A House Without a Bedroom, I think the title and the concept of that title is a bit silly. That whole like, oh, you don't have a bedroom in this house, where am I supposed to sleep? But then like, of course there's no bedroom, because literally your body parts will become part of the house anyway. There's no need for you to have a bedroom to sleep on. So it's like this really dark reason of this title. It's this dark background of this title, right? Because you think like, oh, that's an odd title. Then you read it and you're like, oh, this doesn't have anything to do with the bedroom. Then you read the person's experience, like, hey, why is there no bedroom in this house? And then you find out like, oh, there's no bedroom because he's gonna get sliced and diced. His body parts will become part of the furniture, part of the building itself. So there is no need for a bedroom if you literally are just going to become part of the house. It's crazy to think about that. And also, who knows how long he stayed inside that house without a bedroom? Like if it was like a couple of days, or if that was like a couple of weeks, a month, 2 months, who knows? I assume it happened pretty fast. I would say it happened within 2 weeks. He sent a mail the first day. 2 days, around 2 days passed. He sent another mail, and then another like 2 days passed, maybe even 3 days, and then he's like, okay, now let me send that mail that's like, hey, you're clearly not paying attention to what I'm saying, what is happening. And then 1 or 2 more days passed, and suddenly it became like bits and pieces. So I would say like around 8 to 10 days, maybe. Because I don't think any reasonable person would live in that house without a bedroom for more than a... Jesus Christ, I heard something creaking that scared the shit out of me. For more than like 2 weeks, right? Like who... If you were to move into a house and you realize there's no bedroom, but you can still like arrange that to happen, would you live in that house? I don't think so. I don't think anybody was going to be like, yeah, just stay here. We have no bedrooms, or we just sleep on the couch, or just get a cushion and a this. I forgot what the word for this is, and just sleep on that until we get a bedroom, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody would move into a house without a bedroom. And if you do, I don't think you would stay in that house longer than a week or 2. Multiple pass disorder. I mean, that's just... It's fascinating to think about like how like this woman has just had so many different versions of herself, and all of them work. I think what's the craziest for me is definitely the fact that she has multiple parents that she's connected to, which all of them, which is, as it says, like the fact that like the combination of couples will result into the same looking again. What the fuck? I'm gonna check it out soon. Vengeful irony, street signs. Yeah, I like the irony behind that. The contradictory echo. That's just funny. That's funny. Advance with the Scooby-Doo joke. Daniel, don't make out with lamps. And instant structures. Hey man, you're taking the constructor worker's job. Don't do that. All right. I'm gonna check out what the hell is creaking, and hopefully not die. In the meantime, I hope I get to see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I had some G Fuel in the morning, and now I have monsters now, so I'm gonna definitely be up for a while. But I feel like I was pretty energetic today, which I'm glad about. That's not gonna happen tomorrow because I'm gonna be awake majority of the night. Oh yeah, okay. But I hope I get to see you guys tomorrow for SCP-1050s. And I wish you all a good morning, afternoon, evening. Again, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. And the Afro is with you.